Commander Emily Thompson stared at her computer screen in the dim light of her office at Earth Defense Force headquarters. It was 3 a.m., and she was surrounded by empty coffee cups. Something about the data didn't make sense, and it had been bothering her for days. "Computer, show me all alien attack attempts from the last 10 years, sorted by date," she said, rubbing her tired eyes. The holographic display lit up, showing hundreds of dots representing various alien encounters and attempted invasions. Emily had been looking at this data for so long that the dots were starting to blur together. But then she noticed something odd. There were gaps in the pattern, regular gaps that kept showing up year after year. She straightened in her chair. "Computer, overlay Earth's major holiday calendar on this data." The screen flickered, and holiday periods appeared as colored bands across the timeline. Emily's eyes widened. "No way," she whispered. "This can't be a coincidence. Every single holiday period, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, even Halloween, showed zero alien activity. Not a single invasion attempt, not even a probe. It was as if the aliens were actively avoiding Earth during these times." The office door slid open with a soft hiss. Dr. James Wilson walked in, carrying 2 fresh cups of coffee. His gray hair was messy, and his EDF science uniform was wrinkled from another long night at work. "You're still here?" he asked, placing 1 cup on Emily's desk. "I thought you'd gone home hours ago." "James, look at this," Emily said, pointing at the screen. "Tell me I'm not going crazy." James leaned in, his forehead wrinkling as he studied the display. "What am I looking at?" "Alien attack patterns for the past decade. Notice anything strange?" "Besides the fact that we get attacked way too often." He took a sip of coffee, then froze. "Wait a minute. Are those gaps?" Emily nodded eagerly. "Every single holiday season. No attacks. No probes. Nothing. It's like they're avoiding us." "That's impossible," James said, putting down his coffee. "It has to be a coincidence. Maybe our defense systems are just stronger during those periods because more people are at home." Emily shook her head and typed quickly. "I thought of that. But look, even before we had proper defenses, even before first contact, UFO sightings dropped to almost zero during holidays. The pattern goes back at least 50 years. James pulled up a chair and sat down heavily. "Show me the Christmas periods." The screen zoomed in on December data. The pattern was even clearer. A complete dead zone of alien activity from December 20th to January 2nd, year after year. "What about Black Friday?" James asked suddenly. Emily quickly pulled up the data for November. There it was again. A total absence of alien activity during the biggest shopping day of the year. "They're afraid of something," Emily said slowly. "But what could possibly scare an advanced alien civilization away from Earth during our holidays?" James laughed nervously. "Maybe they saw what happens at Walmart on Black Friday." Emily didn't laugh. Instead, she started typing rapidly. "Computer, pull up all documented cases of failed alien infiltration attempts during holiday periods." The computer beeped, and a new set of files appeared. Most were heavily redacted, but one caught Emily's eye. Incident Report, November 24, 1989. Multiple UFO signatures detected over major shopping centers. "James," she said quietly, "I think we need to talk to Director Mitchell. Now." "It's 3 a.m., James protested. "He'll think we're crazy." Emily was already reaching for her phone. "Maybe we are crazy. Or maybe we just stumbled onto the biggest secret in Earth's defense history." She dialed the director's emergency number. "And if I'm right, we need to know why the most powerful alien civilizations in the galaxy are terrified of human holiday seasons." The phone rang 3 times before a groggy voice answered. What Emily and James would learn over the next few days would change everything they thought they knew about Earth's place in the galaxy and the unexpected power of human holiday spirit. Director Robert Mitchell's office was quiet except for the soft hum of the air conditioning. Emily and James sat across from his desk, watching as he looked through their data for the third time. The morning sun was just beginning to peek through the tall windows of Earth Defense Force headquarters. "Let me get this straight," Mitchell said, looking up from the holographic display. "You're telling me that aliens, all aliens, are afraid of our holidays?" "The data speaks for itself, sir," Emily said, leaning forward. "We found no alien activity during any major holiday period in the last 50 years. Mitchell rubbed his chin. "And you woke me up at 3 a.m. for this." "There's more," James added quickly. He pulled out a tablet and handed it to Mitchell. "We found something in the old files. Something about Black Friday, 1989. Mitchell's face changed as he read the file. The color drained from his cheeks. "This was before my time," he said quietly. "I thought these files were destroyed." "Sir?" Emily asked. Mitchell pressed a button on his desk, and the windows turned dark. "What I'm about to tell you doesn't leave this room." He took a deep breath. In 1989, an alien fleet tried to invade Earth. They chose Black Friday, thinking our defenses would be down during a shopping holiday. James and Emily exchanged looks. "What happened?" James asked. "They landed their ships in shopping center parking lots, disguised as new stores offering amazing deals." Mitchell smiled grimly. "They didn't understand what Black Friday meant to humans. When they opened their doors, they got trampled," Emily guessed. Mitchell nodded. "Their advanced shields were useless against thousands of bargain-hunting humans. 3 ships were completely overrun. The aliens retreated so fast, they left their technology behind. That's how we got our first artificial gravity devices." James let out a low whistle. "So that's why they avoid holidays." "That's what we need to find out," Mitchell said. He stood up and walked to a painting on his wall. He moved it aside, revealing a hidden safe. "I'm giving you both Level X clearance. Project name: Festive Shield." Emily sat up straighter. "What are our objectives, sir?" "Find out everything you can. Why do they avoid our holidays? Is it just Black Friday, or is there more? And most importantly, can we use this to protect Earth?" "Where do we start?" James asked. Mitchell pulled an old USB drive from the safe. "Start with these files. They're from before the digital age. And there's a retired agent you need to talk to, Bill Anderson. He was there in '89. He's living in Florida now." "What about current alien communications?" Emily asked. "Could we find something there?" "Good thinking," Mitchell said. "I'll have technical specialist Michael Davis help you monitor alien communications. He's the best code breaker we have." Just then, Mitchell's computer beeped. His face grew serious as he read the message. "Well, this just got more interesting. We're picking up unusual alien communication activity. They're talking about something called the Holiday Protocol." Emily and James moved to look at the screen. The alien message was partially translated. "Warning. Earth approaching festive period designated Christmas. All ships advised to maintain minimum safe distance. Repeat, do not approach Earth during human celebration periods." "They're warning each other," Emily said, excitement in her voice. "This is bigger than just avoiding us. They're actively scared of our holidays." Mitchell nodded. "You have 1 week before Christmas season officially begins. Find out what's really going on." He looked at them both seriously. "And whatever you do, don't let this information leak. If people find out that our greatest planetary defense is holiday spirit, nobody would believe it anyway," James said. "Exactly," Mitchell replied. "Now get to work. And remember, this is just between us and the handful of people who already know. As far as anyone else is concerned, you're doing routine data analysis." Emily and James stood up to leave. As they reached the door, Mitchell called out, "And Thompson, Wilson, be careful. We're not the only ones interested in this information." They nodded and left the office, their minds racing with questions. The real investigation was about to begin, and they had a feeling they'd only scratched the surface of this holiday mystery. Technical specialist Michael Davis hadn't slept in 24 hours, but he didn't care. His fingers flew across the keyboard as line after line of alien code scrolled across his screens. The small monitoring room in the basement of EDF headquarters had become his home over the past few days. "I've got something," he called out to Emily and James, who were reviewing old files nearby. "You need to see this." They rushed over to his station. On the main screen, a strange pattern of symbols pulsed in a steady rhythm. "What are we looking at?" Emily asked, leaning in closer. "It's an alien broadcast. But here's the weird part. It's being sent to every known alien civilization at once, like some kind of emergency warning system." Michael took a sip of his cold coffee. "And look at the timestamp. They send this exact same message before every major human holiday." James pointed at some symbols that were flashing red. "Can you translate those?" Michael nodded and typed a few commands. The alien symbols transformed into English text. "Critical alert. Human festive period 8 P.P.R.O. Ching. All vessels be a device et. Earth reza de ent your enhanced state. Puri vias kas ualtais. 84% of CONTCTATMPTs. Enhanced state." Emily read aloud. "What does that mean?" "Keep reading," Michael said. The message continued. "Warning signs of human festive enhancement. Colored elijhs as o undwellings. Increased consumption of sugar-based nutrients. Gathering in large numbers at designated trade centers. Strange immunized. PLA weighing continuously." James couldn't help laughing. "They think Christmas decorations are some kind of power-up system." "Wait, there's more," Michael said, scrolling down. "This part is marked as extreme danger." The next section showed footage from security cameras in various shopping malls. The aliens had been collecting videos of Black Friday sales, Christmas Eve last-minute shopping, and holiday bargain hunters. Each clip was marked with warnings in alien text. "They're studying us," Emily realized. "They think our holiday behavior is some kind of combat training." Michael nodded. "And look at this analysis they did of holiday shopping statistics. They've calculated that human strength and determination increase by 300% during sales events. They can't understand why we would fight so hard for discounted items." Just then, a new signal came through. Michael's eyes widened as he decoded it. "It's a live transmission," he said. "Two alien ships talking about Earth. Let me put it on speaker." The computer translated the alien language in real time. "Alien Ship 1. Scanners detect humans beginning annual power-up ritual. Alien Ship 2. Confirmed. Light displays increasing. Sugar consumption rising. Alien Ship 1. Remember the Great Black Friday disaster. 3 ships lost to bargain hunting berserkers. Alien Ship 2. Never forget. Engaging holiday avoidance protocols. Recommend minimum safe distance of 2 light years until January." Emily, James, and Michael sat in stunned silence as the transmission ended. "We need to tell Director Mitchell," Emily said finally. "This isn't just about them avoiding our holidays. They've created an entire warning system because they think we become super soldiers during Christmas." "Should we correct their mistake?" James asked. "Tell them it's just normal holiday spirit." Michael shook his head. "Look at these statistics. Earth hasn't had a successful alien invasion attempt in 50 years, not since they started avoiding our holidays. Maybe letting them think we have festive superpowers isn't such a bad thing." Emily's phone buzzed. A message from Director Mitchell. "Come to my office immediately. Bring what you found. The aliens are starting to move their ships away from Earth's orbit. All of them." The 3 of them looked at each other. The holiday season was just beginning, and Earth's strangest defense system was about to be put to the test. The meeting room at Earth Defense Force headquarters was tense, Ambassador Linda Parker sat at one end of the long table, reviewing her notes. At the other end, 3 alien representatives shifted uncomfortably in their specially designed chairs. Emily, James, and Michael stood quietly along the wall, watching. "Thank you for agreeing to this diplomatic meeting," Linda said, smiling warmly at the aliens. "We have some questions about your recent fleet movements." The tallest alien, whose blue skin sparkled under the office lights, spoke through a translator. "We are simply following standard safety protocols." "Safety protocols?" Linda asked innocently. "What kind of dangers are you avoiding?" The aliens looked at each other nervously. The second alien, who had 4 arms and wore what looked like military decorations, leaned forward. "Your people are entering the phase you call Christmas." The alien pronounced the word carefully, as if it might be dangerous. Linda nodded. "Yes, it's a holiday season, a time of celebration." All 3 aliens flinched at the word celebration. "Is something wrong?" Linda asked. No, the third alien said quickly. "We just remember the stories, the legends of what happened to those who came before." Emily stepped forward. "You mean the Black Friday incident?" The aliens jumped in their seats. The tallest one spoke in a whisper. "You know of this." "We have records," James added, "but we'd like to hear your version." The military alien looked around nervously, then spoke. "It was a terrible tragedy. 3 of our finest ships lost to the holiday warriors. We had no idea humans could channel such power through retail combat." Michael had to pretend to cough to hide his laugh. "And that's why you're moving your ships away?" Linda asked. "Of course," the first alien said. "The warning signs are already appearing. Colored lights on buildings, humans gathering in trade centers, the continuous playing of songs about snow and gifts." The alien shuddered. "Soon your people will enter their enhanced state." Linda managed to keep a straight face. "And what do you think happens to us during these enhanced states?" The military alien pulled out a device and showed a hologram of Black Friday shoppers rushing into a store. "Look at their speed, their determination. No normal beings could show such strength. And during your Christmas period, you become even stranger. You bring trees inside your homes. You wrap objects in shiny paper. You become resistant to cold and snow. Don't forget the red-suited one," the third alien added fearfully. "The one who can visit all homes in a single night. His power level must be incredible." Emily bit her lip to keep from smiling. These advanced aliens were terrified of Santa Claus. "Perhaps," Linda said carefully, "we could explain what these holidays really mean to us." "No," all 3 aliens said at once. The tallest alien stood up. "We respect your battle rituals. We understand now why your species must be left alone during these power-gathering times. We will spread the word to all other civilizations." "The holiday protocol protects everyone," the military alien added. "We have not lost a single ship since we began avoiding Earth's celebration periods." Linda looked at Emily, who nodded slightly. Maybe letting the aliens keep their misunderstanding wasn't such a bad idea. "Very well," Linda said. "We appreciate your respect for our traditions." The aliens stood up, bowed quickly, and almost ran from the room. Through the window, Emily could see their ship taking off immediately, as if they were afraid Christmas lights might appear at any moment. Director Mitchell walked in as soon as the aliens left. "Well, that was interesting." "Sir," Emily said, "I think we just discovered Earth's best defense system." Mitchell nodded. "Fear of holiday shopping. Who would have thought?" He looked out the window at the departing alien ship. "I want a full report on my desk tomorrow. And someone please explain to me how Santa Claus became an intergalactic symbol of terror." The Florida retirement community looked peaceful in the afternoon sun. Emily, James, and Michael walked up to a small house with a neat garden. The mailbox read, "Bill Anderson, retired." "This is the guy who was there in '89?" Michael asked, looking at the pink flamingos in the yard. Emily nodded. According to Director Mitchell, He was the first person to witness the Black Friday incident. James rang the doorbell. After a moment, an old man with white hair opened the door. He wore a Hawaiian shirt and shorts. "Mr. Anderson," Emily asked. "We're from the Earth Defense Force. Director Mitchell sent us." Bill's eyes lit up. Finally, someone who wants to hear the real story. Come in, and call me Bill." They followed him into a living room filled with model spaceships. Bill pointed to one that looked different from the others. "That's a piece of the real thing," he said proudly. "From one of the ships that landed in the mall parking lot." "Can you tell us what happened that day?" Emily asked, taking out a recorder. Bill sat in his favorite chair and smiled. "It was Black Friday, 1989. I was working security at the Palm Springs Mall. The early morning crowd was already forming outside when 3 new stores appeared overnight." "The alien ships?" James asked. "Yep. Disguised themselves as stores offering 99% off everything. Pretty clever, really. They thought they'd trick people inside and take them prisoner." Bill chuckled. They didn't understand what Black Friday shoppers are like. Michael leaned forward. "What happened when they opened their doors?" "Picture this," Bill said, gesturing with his hands. 5,000 people waiting outside. The aliens opened their fake store doors at 5 a.m., expecting to grab a few humans at a time. Instead, they got hit by a human tidal wave." He stood up and walked to a shelf, pulling down an old photo album. "Look at these. I took them myself." The photos showed scenes of chaos, crowds of people rushing through doors, confused aliens in badly made store clerk disguises getting pushed aside, shopping carts being used as battering rams. "Their shields were useless," Bill continued. "They were designed to stop weapons, not determined shoppers with coupons. One alien tried to zap someone with a ray gun. The lady just grabbed it and asked if it was on sale." Emily pointed to a photo of people carrying boxes out of the fake store. "What were they taking?" "Anything they could grab." Turned out alien technology looks a lot like fancy electronics when it's disguised. People thought they were getting cheap TVs. They were actually carrying engine parts and weapon systems. "Is that how we got their technology?" James asked. Bill nodded. By the time the aliens realized what was happening, their ships had been picked clean. 3 ships worth of advanced tech, distributed across America in shopping bags. They tried to stop it, but you try taking something away from someone who thinks they got it at 99% off. "What about the aliens themselves?" Michael asked. "Ran away screaming about human battle fury. One of them got stuck in the food court. Last I saw, it was hiding in the pretzel shop, sending panic messages to its fleet." Emily showed Bill the recent alien transmissions they'd intercepted. "They're still terrified of our holidays. They think we have some kind of special powers." Bill laughed until tears came to his eyes. "Special powers? Yeah, I guess you could call it that. When humans think they're getting a good deal, they can do amazing things." "Should we tell them the truth?" James wondered aloud. "Why bother?" Bill said, closing his photo album. "They've left us alone for 35 years because they're scared of holiday shoppers. Sometimes the best defense is letting people believe what they want to believe." As they left Bill's house, Emily's phone buzzed. It was a message from Director Mitchell. "Return to base immediately. New development. Aliens are picking up signals about something called Cyber Monday. They're panicking." Emily showed the message to James and Michael. They all smiled. Earth's strangest defense system was working better than anyone could have imagined. Back at EDF headquarters, Emily, James, and Michael found Director Mitchell waiting with an old woman in a bright red sweater with reindeer on it. "Team, meet Betty Thompson," Mitchell said. She was in charge of holiday decorations at the Golden Valley Mall in 2001. Betty smiled warmly. "You're the ones looking into the Christmas Eve incident." "There was another incident?" Michael asked, surprised. "Oh my, yes," Betty said, sitting down. "Different aliens, same silly mistake. They thought Christmas Eve would be perfect for an invasion. Everyone would be home, they said. Easy targets. Emily pulled out her recorder again. What happened? Well, Betty began. It was Christmas Eve, 2001. I was finishing up the mall decorations when these strange vans appeared in the parking lot. They said they were a last-minute Christmas light installation service. James nodded. The aliens in disguise. Exactly. They thought they were being clever, offering to put up lights for free. What they didn't know was that I had already set up the mall's automated decoration system. Mitchell brought up some old security footage on the main screen. It showed what looked like normal vans transforming into small spaceships, but before they could take off, something unexpected happened. The automated system detected new structures in range, Betty explained, grinning. It did what it was programmed to do, cover everything in Christmas lights. The footage showed mechanical arms extending from the mall roof, shooting out strings of lights that wrapped around the alien ships. The more the ships tried to break free, the more tangled they became. Their cloaking technology reacted badly with the LED lights, Michael said, studying the footage. It created some kind of feedback loop. Betty laughed. Those poor aliens didn't know what hit them. Every time they tried to use their technology, it just made things worse. The lights would flash brighter, their engines would sputter, and their communications turned into Christmas carols. Wait, Emily said, pointing at the screen. Is that ship gift-wrapped? Oh yes, Betty said proudly. The automated system had a gift-wrapping function for large displays. When it detected the ships as new structures, it went all out, wrapped them up with big red bows and everything. The team watched as the footage showed confused aliens emerging from their ships, only to be greeted by late-night shoppers who thought it was part of the mall's Christmas display. The best part, Betty continued, was when the mall Santa showed up for his late shift. The aliens took one look at him coming through the crowd, got back in their wrapped ships, and somehow managed to fly away trailing lights and ribbon behind them. That explains these readings, Michael said, checking his tablet. The aliens marked December 24th as the night of the light prison in their warning systems. James looked thoughtful. So first we had Black Friday shoppers strip their ships clean. Then Christmas decorations trapped them like flies in a web. Earth's holiday traditions are better than any weapon we could design, Mitchell said. The aliens think it's all intentional, some kind of planetary defense system we activate during celebrations. Director, Emily said suddenly. Look at this. She pointed to her computer screen showing current alien communications. They're talking about something called the Santa Protocol. It's their highest level of holiday warning. The message read, Warning. Earth's powerful red-suited guardian appears during this period. His abilities include faster-than-light travel, matter transformation, coal to gifts, and unlimited access to all human dwellings. Extreme caution advised. Betty started laughing so hard she had to wipe her eyes. They think Santa is our secret weapon. Well, Mitchell said with a smile, as long as they keep believing that Earth has the best defense system in the galaxy, powered by holiday spirit and confused aliens. Just then, an alert flashed across the screen. More alien ships were retreating from Earth's orbit. The holiday season was just beginning, and somewhere out there, a fleet of nervous aliens was probably wondering if they'd get tangled in tinsel next. Sarah walked into the large building. It was her first day at her new job. She felt excited, but also a little nervous. The building seemed so big, and there were so many people rushing around. Sarah found the elevator and pressed the button for the 10th floor. When the doors opened, she stepped out into a bright open area. There were many desks with people sitting at computers. Sarah looked at the piece of paper in her hand. It said she should find Mr. Johnson. Sarah approached a friendly-looking woman. "Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find Mr. Johnson's office?" The woman smiled and pointed down the hallway. "Of course. Just go down that way, and it will be the third door on your left." Sarah thanked the woman and walked down the hallway. She counted the doors until she reached the third one. She took a deep breath and knocked. "Come in," said a voice from inside. Sarah opened the door and stepped into the office. A middle-aged man with glasses was sitting behind a large desk. He looked up and smiled. "Ah, you must be Sarah. Welcome. Please, have a seat." Sarah sat down in the chair across from Mr. Johnson. He asked her a few questions about herself and her background. Then he explained what her job duties would be. "For the first few weeks, you'll be shadowing Jessica," Mr. Johnson said. "She'll show you the ropes and help you get settled. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We're all here to help." Sarah felt relieved. Mr. Johnson seemed very nice and understanding. She was looking forward to starting her new job and learning all she could. Just then, there was a knock at the door. A young woman poked her head in. "You wanted to see me, Mr. Johnson." Mr. Johnson waved her in. "Yes, Jessica. Please come in. I'd like you to meet Sarah, our newest team member." "Sarah, this is Jessica. She'll be your guide for the next few weeks." Jessica smiled warmly at Sarah and held out her hand. "It's great to meet you, Sarah. I'm looking forward to working with you." As Sarah shook Jessica's hand, she felt a wave of excitement. She couldn't wait to dive in and start this new chapter in her life. With Jessica's help and Mr. Johnson's support, she knew she would do well. The two women left Mr. Johnson's office together, chatting happily. Sarah felt all her nervousness melt away. She had a feeling she was going to like it here. Over the next few weeks, Sarah learned a lot from Jessica. Jessica showed her how to use the computer programs and where to find important files. She also introduced Sarah to the other people on their team. Everyone was very friendly and welcoming. Sarah enjoyed the work she was doing. It was challenging but also interesting. She felt like she was learning new things every day. Jessica was always there to answer her questions and give her helpful advice. One day, Mr. Johnson called a meeting with the whole team. He said that they had been given a new project to work on. It was for an important client, and he needed everyone's best efforts. Sarah felt a little nervous when she heard this. She was still new and wasn't sure if she was ready for such a big responsibility. But Jessica reassured her. "Don't worry, Sarah," she said with a smile. "You've been doing great so far. I know you'll do well on this project too. And remember, we're all here to help each other." Over the next month, the team worked hard on the project. They had many meetings to discuss their progress and solve any problems that came up. Sarah contributed her ideas and felt like a real part of the team. Finally, the day came to present their work to the client. Mr. Johnson gave the presentation while the rest of the team sat nearby. Sarah held her breath as the client reviewed their proposal. After what seemed like forever, the client smiled. "This looks excellent," he said. "You've done a great job. We're very happy with your work." Mr. Johnson thanked the client and then turned to the team with a big grin. "Great work, everyone," he said. "I'm very proud of what we've accomplished." As the team celebrated their success, Sarah felt a sense of pride. She had worked hard and had truly become part of this team. She knew that this was just the beginning and that there would be many more challenges and successes ahead. Jessica gave Sarah a high five. "See, I knew you could do it," she said. "You're a natural." Sarah smiled. She was so grateful for Jessica's support and friendship. With her new job, her great team, and the exciting work ahead, Sarah felt happier than she had in a long time. She knew she was exactly where she was meant to be.